Saskatchewan is a prairie and boreal province in Canada. The only province without a natural border. It has an area of 651,900 square kilometers is freshwater, composed mostly of rivers, reservoirs, and the province's 100,000 lakes. Saskatchewan is bordered on the west by Alberta, on the north by the Northwest Territories, on the east by Manitoba, to the northeast by Nunavut, and on the south by the U.S. states of Montana and North Dakota. As of Q1 2020, Saskatchewan's population was estimated at 1,181,987. Residents primarily live in the southern prairie half of the province, while the northern boreal half is mostly forested and sparsely populated. Of the total population, roughly half live in the province's largest city Saskatoon or the provincial capital Regina. Other notable cities include Prince Albert, Moose Jaw, Yorkton, Swift Current, North Battleford, Melfort, and the border city Lloydminster. Saskatchewan is a landlocked province with large distances to moderating bodies of waters. As a result, its climate is extremely continental, rendering severe winters throughout the province. Southern areas have very warm or hot summers. Midale and yellow grass are possible even in the south during extreme cold snaps. Saskatchewan has been inhabited for thousands of years by various indigenous groups. Europeans first explored the area in 1690 and first settled in the area in 1774. It became a province in 1905, carved out from the vast Northwest Territories, which had until then included most of the Canadian prairies. In the early 20th century, the province became known as a stronghold for Canadian social democracy. North America's first social democratic government was elected in 1944. The province's economy is based on agriculture, mining, and energy. The former Lieutenant Governor, Thomas Malloy, died in office on July 2, 2019. On July 17, 2019, the federal government announced the appointment of Russell Mirasti, former Assistant Commissioner with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, as the new Lieutenant Governor. The current Premier is Scott Moe. In 1992, the federal and provincial governments signed a historic land claim agreement with First Nations in Saskatchewan. The First Nations received compensation and were permitted to buy land on the open market for the bands. They have acquired about 3,079 square kilometers, now reserve lands. Some First Nations have used their settlement to invest in urban areas, including Saskatoon. Its name derived from the Saskatchewan River. The river is known as Kisiskesavani Sipi in the Cree language. Hende's spelling was Keshkachevan, with the modern rendering, Saskatchewan, being officially adopted in 1882 when a portion of the present-day province was designated a provisional district of the Northwest Territories. As Saskatchewan's borders largely follow the geographic coordinates of longitude and latitude, the province is roughly a quadrilateral, or a shape with four sides. However, the 49th parallel boundary and the 60th northern border appear curved on globes and many maps. Additionally, the eastern boundary of the province is partially crooked rather than following a line of longitude, as correction lines were devised by surveyors prior to the Homestead Program. Saskatchewan is part of the Western Provinces and is bounded on the west by Alberta, on the north by the Northwest Territories, on the northeast by Nunavut, on the east by Manitoba, and on the south by the U.S. states of Montana and North Dakota. Saskatchewan has the distinction of being the only Canadian province for which no borders correspond to physical geographic features. Along with Alberta, Saskatchewan is one of only two landlocked provinces. The overwhelming majority of Saskatchewan's population is located in the southern third of the province. South of the 53rd parallel, Saskatchewan contains two major natural regions: the boreal forest in the north and the prairies in the south. They are separated by an aspen parkland transition zone near the North Saskatchewan River on the western side of the province, and near to south of the Saskatchewan River on the eastern side. Northern Saskatchewan is mostly covered by forest except for the Lake Athabasca sand dunes, the largest active sand dunes in the world north of 58 degrees and adjacent to the southern shore of Lake Athabasca. Southern Saskatchewan contains another area with sand dunes known as the Great Sand Hills, covering over 300 square kilometers. The Cypress Hills, located in the southwestern corner of Saskatchewan and Killdeer Badlands, are areas of the province that were unglaciated during the last glaciation period. The Wisconsin Glaciation, the province's highest point, at 1,392 meters, is located in the Cypress Hills less than 2 kilometers from the provincial boundary with Alberta. The lowest point is the shore of Lake Athabasca, at 213 meters. The province has 14 major drainage basins made up of various rivers and watersheds.